Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and here we go, just getting things started. There we go, fantastic. Silent Hunter on my main monitor, and the stream on the other one. That sounds pretty awesome, my dude. See, I remember playing, is it Silent Hunter 5? I think 5 is the buggy one. It's a shame, really, because it's actually quite fun to play. It's just like the actual, the campaign just doesn't seem to work right. Really weird like that. Hello there, Pirate Joe. Glory to Nihon Tena Haika Banzai, indeed. What's up there, Mr. AMMW? How you doing there, my friend? Hello there, Borean. See, I've not actually played Silent Hunter 3. I think I played Wolves of the Pacific. I think it's Wolves of the Pacific. Yeah, I'm sure I played a little bit of it, but not terribly large amounts. I will not go quietly into the night. I like that. I like how we can always try and have a little bit of like back and forth in these turn titles. I always find that rather fun. Indeed, row your boat into Formosa Strait. No, it's going to be a very interesting turn. I think it is going to be one of those where... it's hard to say, really, because it's going to... It's not the most critical of turns as such, but it does definitely help us to actually see what's going on here. Hello there, Moonbeam. What's up, Sword? How you doing, my friend? Our Wolves of the Pacific is right, okay. I know it's obviously the one set in the Pacific, as you can imagine. There's a mod for free that improves it immensely. See, I'd like to take a look at that actually in the future. Okay, so we'll just have the customary few minutes, just let people get into the actual stream. I know everybody does like to see the turn resolution. I know, of course, you can watch it back, but hey, it's nice to see it live, isn't it? So how is everybody today then? How are you guys doing? I mean, the weather today has been bloody stormy. But not too bad, it's been really windy. Just finished making a Thai green curry again earlier on. And then watched a bit of a Night Flyer on Netflix, that's not too bad. Can't wait to our planes. I think we'll have a decent turn. I hope so anyway. I don't think we have too much to lose in reality. I always like to try and start the turns off, before we even get into it, actually really just sort of go over what the potential possibilities are. Like, for example, I think over Singapore, it's going to be rather interesting. I think he only has really 3 options when it comes to Singapore. It's like he will have either sent his bombers out, and combat air patrol out, well, obviously have his fighters out there to escort them, potentially to hit one of our air bases. Obviously trying to stop the impending bomber attacks, or he might have gone with the previous turn's tactics of obviously having all the combat air patrol, but I doubt he'd probably do that again. Or, he might have actually tried to evacuate his air force from Singapore. I think that one could be the potential one he goes for. Playing SCOM 2, I'm wishing I had got food before you started streaming. Don't worry, you'll have time. Okay. So we'll start to get into things and see how it goes then. Should be a rather interesting turn. I always do try to make the streams about 6 o'clock-ish, half 6. Usually gives people generally decent time to actually get here. It's one of those things, of course, I stream, well, I'm English, aren't I? So it's hard to find a right time to balance for everybody. But then again, there's always that playback function, so... yeah, everybody gets a chance. So a little bit nervous, but let's see how we go on then, shall we? Yeah, pray to RN Jesus. Those would be the destroyers, I do believe. Yes, okay. Snapper. Right, we're out of air, so be ammunition. Hello there, Alfonso. How you doing, my friend? Okay, so we need to obviously rearm then the SW munitions, basically the depth charges. See, the beauty of the Gulf of Siam is basically due to the fact that this is all shallow waters, more or less. It's just as easy to attack them here as it is further to the coast. Hello there, Cole. How you doing, my friend? Right. I do find it interesting. I do wonder where he's actually planning to go with these submarines. Is he attempted to head down here towards our landing forces of Brunei? Perhaps. I'm hoping that we actually see the landings of Brunei, bloody fuck that one up for 2 turns. That's wasted a lot of time. Well, that's wasted 2 turns, but it's an unfortunate thing. I mean, we do make mistakes. Right, so we merge off the coast there. It does not look as though this submarine has really moved too much, which is rather intriguing. It still looks like he's trying to pull out his forces at the base to the south, I suppose the southeast of Manila. The armour ended up retreating over there. But the good news is we've had a couple of days to actually rest our troops. He's not had the same... He'll have sometimes actually... like recover, but not too much. So there, Diligent, how you doing, my man? So there, Ragnar? How's your plan doing? Did he get caught with it? We've actually not seen it actually occur as of yet. See, I knew there'd still be mines off Hong Kong. It looks as though we might have actually swept them all. Sweeps a mine, sweeps a mine. Yep, destroys a mine, yep. Though it's not actually showing a minefield now, which is interesting. Right. That's interesting. It shows that they're retreating from surface engagements. I do wonder if they need to be put on absolute threat tolerance. They don't seem to want to target things. We'll see what the situation is, actually. They may not go for something if it's in sufficient numbers, perhaps. Or we perhaps need more aggressive captains. We'll see what the actual situation is down there by Savai. Okay. Okay, airstrikes. Okay, so this is our first sweep. Supposedly nothing here. Interesting. I mean, we did see bombers over here, so I wonder if he's actually flying his bombers out. We'll see what happens, but the first sweep there hasn't yielded any results as so far as yet. We'd have done really well over Singapore had we actually not had the bombers accidentally go out. But it looks as though yet, right. I'd imagine what he's probably doing is he's going to actually hit our airfields, but the thing is we can cause more pain to him, we have more airfields. Yeah, he's actually trying to catch us out here in China. But it looks like the bombers are going to be unchallenged here, so that's pretty good news. Yep, here we go, hitting the actual airbase. Right. I do wonder if he's actually pulled out. I mean, I did say about the third option in regards to him pulling his aircraft out of here. It looks as though that is the option he's probably gone with. But we can see that the escorts did go ahead pretty nicely. Seems like we are losing some Ki-21s to flak, but not too bad, actually. I like it. Okay. Right, supposedly only one of them destroyed by flak. We did damage some buffaloes on the ground, one destroyed on the ground, a B-17 damaged on the ground there. Now, not too many hits to the actual airfield, but this is what we need. This means we can actually continue this. I do wonder if he's actually pulled his aircraft out then of Singapore. It seems that way. They're either out of Singapore or they're on a mission. One or the other. But the good news is here, though, we can see we can continue the bombing attacks now against Singapore, which is great. We do obviously have the aircraft to pull this off. But yeah, that was really well coordinated as well. You can imagine, had he had any combat air patrol there, he would have been met by 45 Zeros, 16 Oscar 1Bs, and yeah, that would have hurt. Hello there, Christoph. How you doing, my friend? Hello there, Lander. Hello there, Dozed. So, not a bad result. I was hoping to actually catch some of his combat air patrol, but we'll see what happens. I do feel like he's actually pulled out the Prince of Wales or Repulse, more than likely anyway. More than likely. I think he pulled them to Sumatran. Yeah, probably so. Probably so. So there, Baden, how you do, my friend? Yeah, there we go. So seeing him bombing our forces here at Mersing. 7 casualties. Now, it doesn't look as if our forces will make it in this turn. I don't think so. The additional landing forces looks like they were just shy. Not too bad of a result, I suppose. Now, I'd imagine he's probably going to commit to a deliberate attack, though I'd imagine probably a shock attack. Now, I don't imagine the forces here at Mersing will last too much longer. I do hope they last another day, that's all I want. Yeah, he's definitely committing his forces from elsewhere. These guys are either coming from Kuala Lumpur or they're coming from one of these air bases out here. I'm not entirely sure which one. It does look as if it's coming from maybe this base. 40 casualties, not good. Yep, more bombers. Yeah, he's definitely committed to Mersing here. Yep, these are still flying from Singapore. Okay, so what we need to do then is obviously increase the air raids over here. Wildebeest, I know somebody will be happy. Yeah, we need to destroy these bombers on the field. He may not have actually pulled them out. There's still bombers flying from Singapore. Where the hell are his fighters? Because we didn't see them escorted. I do wonder if he's actually pulled out his fighters then, I wonder. Interesting turn so far. Right, we are seeing a submarine here. Unable to locate target. So we do have a target in for our naval bombers out there. Probably the Prince of Wales or Repulse. I'm not too bothered if they actually slip out. I mean, they've already slipped out to Singapore. The thing is, we'll find them in the future. It does very much depend on the speed at which he moves, but we'll eventually catch him. I'm just not going to waste too much in the way of effort trying to sink it, because we'll eventually catch it anyway. Right, so our reconnaissance over Canton is going ahead, which is good. Obviously, I need to figure out what he has there. And we also do need to carry on with the actual impression that we are geared towards Fiji. Hello there, Shannon. Oh, that would have been very nice had we hit. But this is very interesting information here. So we did actually pull out from Suva without an actual real reason. We only pulled out to actually shake off the detection level. So I found that really interesting. So we see there, light cruiser Marblehead and Adelaide. Now I would have loved it if we'd actually been able to hit our torpedoes. That would have been beautiful. I mean, she fired off 6 there, but no luck. I've been watching on and off life issues. What is your current plan to get oil resources? Well, of course, it's going to be the Dutch East Indies. We are pushing out the Dutch East Indies. I mean, all of that comes down to really securing Singapore. Now, we do have our plan out in the South Pacific, which is obviously linked to the seizure of the Dutch East Indies. It's hard to say one without the other. They're both very interconnected. Right. See, I thought there'd be something over here by Johnston. And that has proven to be true, actually. The submarine Brooks... submarine Brooks. The destroyer Brooks is over here. That's intriguing information, actually. Now, it's a shame that we actually didn't get any hits there, but I find that rather interesting. And the coolest shit is, if you had a game like this mixed with actual sim games. Okay, there we go, we finally landed here now. Should have been done about 2 days ago, but obviously I did mess up the... well, I ended up pressing do not unload and forgot to turn it off. Oh well. We've landed now, that's all that matters. We'll of course have to unpack. Right, so it looks like the base force here isn't a issue. We'll probably see if we could take it now. I probably could take this without spending 2 days unpacking. Yeah, Allied shock attack at Mersing. I knew it was eventually coming. I don't think we'll be able to hold it off this turn. The reinforcements haven't arrived, but that's fine. We can have them diverted to Kuantan. We tried anyway. We'll see how we do. I don't think they'll last here in Mersing. They're not doing too bad, though. Good God, they hold it off again. Oh, good God. Absolute mad lads. Yeah, he's not going to be happy with that one. 271 casualties, 392 allied casualties. But take a look at that. That's 26 squads destroyed. Destroyed. Oh, he's not going to be happy. That was great. Okay, so we are going to be feeding an additional 500 defenders here into Mersing. I think this has actually been a really interesting result. It's definitely a battle that has gone on far longer than I expected and he would have actually wished for. But this is good news. I mean, every day we hold his forces here at Mersing. That actually sees... Yeah, you look at that, 23,000 men here. Well, sorry, 9,673. There's something like 20,000 men here. Only about half of that is obviously the combat-effective troops. But this is very interesting because obviously we'll be marching here on Georgetown soon enough. Once we capture this base and we capture this base over here, it's not going to take us too long before we are marching down here. Now, I do have the air landing forces. I think what I'm going to do is actually have them transfer to probably into Indochina. And then we could actually have them fly and land out, try and capture one of these bases, perhaps all even over here. Sumatsu would probably be the best place. But this is very nice. I mean, we do have that terrain and preparation. Preparation is not too good for us, but this is not bad. If we can actually feed some additional reinforcements in here. Yeah, you look at that. We've only got 7 guns, no vehicles, and we're still holding. This is very good news. I mean, look at this. So we have the 22nd Australian Brigade, the 3rd Cavalry Regiment, the 6th Indian Brigade, the 27th Australian Brigade, the 15th Indian Brigade, and the 30th Battery. Only against the elements of the 124th Infantry Battalion and the Yokosuka 2nd SLF, not even the entire thing. We do have some pretty formidable commanders in charge here. They're doing a damn good job. But this is actually great. Very, very interesting. They've been here a long time. Okay, deliberate attack against this Chinese corps over here. Yep, that's looking pretty good. Their force retreats towards Chengshao. Now, they're actually on the path of which our divisions will be marching, so that's very good news. Okay, so 44 casualties reported there for the Japanese, 462 inflicted. Good job. Defeated allied units retreating, yep. Indeed, what mad lads. Right fortifications have been increased at Babal Dwar. The bombing of Singapore actually was unopposed. We did see his bombers actually sally out to hit Mersing, the defenders at Mersing. Which definitely did help him there. He would have actually lost more men had he not done that. But it's very interesting because he's actually lost out there. He's left his airfields open to our bombers. I don't know where his fighters are, that's the interesting thing. Yeah, the longer Mersing holds, the worse it gets in the general strategic area for him, pretty much. Yeah, it's actually been a very nice, clean run thing. It's a shame that we didn't actually torpedo that light cruiser, that would have been very good. But, this is what we want. We want turns like this, where we're actually not losing anything. Okay, so we have forces there for reassignment. Yep, our pilots are arriving, it would seem. Potentially that might be a new unit there, the 15th. So, a relatively, well, I suppose it does have some drama here. Where are you? 5 ships there. Yeah, see, I'd imagine Prince of Wales and Repulse have slipped out, but the thing is, we are running naval attack down over here, so we'll eventually pick it up. We're also running over here, so should he try to escape through the Straits of Malacca, he's going to be torpedoed. We do have a bunch of submarines down this way. So it's one of these things of, he may well believe he's got out in the clear, but in reality, no, not really. Okay, so we have forces landed over here to Marie. Okay, so then in strategic mode, we need them to obviously unload into combat. Right. So we have here just supplies aboard, not, yeah, nothing in the way of actual men. So what I might do is actually split some of these up. 140 troops here. And we have, yeah, okay, I think what we are going to have to do is immediately go for a deliberate attack. I know it's a little bit risky, but I think it is required, and possibly over here as well. We do have a turn of unpacking already done, so that's good news for us. Well, with your long lances, eventually your sub-skippers will pick them off. Yeah, pretty much. Hello there, Justin. We've actually had a very, very clean turn. Very clean turn. In terms of air losses, we've only lost, let's see here. Aircraft losses today. Yeah, so we only lost 3 Ki-21s, no fighters. It seems he has lost, suppose we lost a G4, looks like that's probably lost to, flak, interestingly enough. I was at the Ki-46. Right, operations over here. It's a shame, because I do need these G4s. Yeah, Mersing actually did very, very well. Buffalo. Okay. So there's still 24 fighters over here, 62 bombers, 17 auxiliaries. It looks as though he's moved some of his fighters over here to Johor and some bombers. Interesting. Yep, VR raid went perfectly. I'll bring it up, actually. Combat reports. Our sweep went in without any challenge, which was obviously good news. Where is it? Have I gone past it? I think I went past it. Yeah, here we go. So, yep, the first sweep went in there. 31 zeros, nothing detected at 20,000 feet. And the last 8 went in, nothing detected. Then, of course, we went in there. 45 A672 zeros, 45 Ki-2128 Sallies, 16 Ki-43 1Bs. Now, we did lose one to flak, and we did obviously lose, well, gain some damage here. So it looks as though some returned and, well, didn't return or were written off on the way over. We did hit his airfield 7 times. Airbase hit. Airbase supply is actually quite good, because obviously that destroys supply within the actual hex itself, which is quite nice. Not a lot, but still nice. Yeah, well, the last turn, we lost a lot of bombers due to the fact of an actual mistake there. Which hurts, but THG sufficiently teased me about it. But then again, he'll make a mistake at some point, and I'll get to laugh at him. So there, Apollo Potato, how you doing, my man? Actually pretty good, actually pretty good. Okay, now let's go ahead and take a look at the actual situation. We'll start with the operations report and go from there, really. Right, so of course our submarines have been sighted here by the enemy. We'll go through this in more detail soon. We occupy Lubang, which is just over here. Right, packing, yep. No, not a stunning showing, but the thing is we can keep that up. We did damage some of his aircraft on the ground, but the thing is, the way's now open. We've seen the fact that his AA isn't that terrifying. So we'll just keep running bomb after bomb after bomb after bomb. Yeah, no problem there, Justin. You definitely helped me out with show me reports. So it's always good to show you something in return. Okay, so we couldn't completely unload at San Fernando, nor at Pari. That's fine, that's going to continue. Right, begins loading resources at Fusan for delivery to Simoneski. Okay, packing. Yakitori and the destroyers, 1 day remaining. Resumed our patrol over here. Task Force 74 out of fuel at 144, 116. Probably submarine, more than likely. G3M2 from Genzen KUK has spotted an allied motor torpedo boat. Supposedly hit one. Right. Supposedly allied ships near Nagoya. One allied ship near Tanegashima, which is the actual submarine, just to the south of Tokyo. Kamikaze Manu observes allied aircraft at Savai. Kamikaze Manu detected by allied float plane at 146159 Savai. So he's obviously running reconnaissance over there. Okay. So, Pearl Harbor, go to Baru, Sing. Yeah, pilot killed in landing accident. Oh, that's a shame. Right, they're grounded at Tanawa for maintenance. A6M2 from Tainan KUS-1 is damaged on landing, but it's not written off and the pilot is not killed even, which is good. Damaged on landing, damaged on landing. Yeah, I think we have too many aircraft at that airfield, which is causing issues. We can move them out there. Right. So it seems like the one on the way back actually reported missing. Yeah, okay. We'll take a look at actually. We'll take a look over there. Don't worry about that one. Okay. Right, 7 allied ships at 133-115 near KYJ, speed 11 knots supposedly. Hello there, Michael Carrington. How you doing, my friend? Babel Dwarb. 2 allied ships over here. Now these have been spotted by the G4M1s, which is nice. We'll go over the Pacific soon. We're just going to go through the actual operations log and really get an idea of what's going on here. Okay, so obviously we do have a lot of them that do need this maintenance. The good news is we do have additional aviation support coming. Okay, yep, transport supplies to Tanawa, 16th Infantry, to these engineers over here. Okay. Yep, we can see that elements of our ground forces have been converted, well, actually upgraded. A command attachment 2 converted into A6M20. Interesting. I'll have to look at that one. I didn't actually tell anybody to convert. At least not explicitly. Okay. Yeah, we had a new unit arrive here at Shanghai. I'll take a look at this new unit at Shanghai and we'll go from there. So the 15th, was it? Okay, now that seems to be a squadron. Yeah, there we go. Ah, additional, no. Yes? Ah, right, no, they are the same squadron. They've probably been moved from over here at Nanking, perhaps. That would make sense. Okay. Yeah, we finally caught up to these Chinese forces again, which is good, at least. No, I wouldn't say we caught up. I think they've... Or have we? No, perhaps we have caught up. Yeah, we have caught up. That's good news. Right, we are marching down the north. Fantastic. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the Pacific then. We'll start over here. No, of course we use a patrol. But we are seeing ships over here at Johnston, which is very intriguing. Now, I did send a submarine out here on basically a hunch, I suppose. And it has actually paid off, because we are aware now of ships at Johnston. Transports as well, so I do wonder what he's doing. Okay, so we can see here... Yeah, the AMC Osaka Maru need to get her moving pretty quickly. She's moving southwest. It looks as if he's moving his submarines down here. They've taken so very, very long to reach the Marshalls, but they're closing it now. Okay. So, Kidbutai is out here. It looks as though Kidbutai is still undetected, as far as I can tell. I've not seen any operation log reports of Kidbutai's detection, so that's very good news. We're still looking strong here. Still looking very strong. Okay. Also, we need more supplies here at Tanawa. Looks as though additional aviation support has arrived, perhaps. I'd hope so. Not quite yet. Right. I think they need additional day here to load up. Okay, so the cruisers are moving south then. That's super interesting, actually. I completely expected them to have hit Funafuti, but they've not. I like that. 480 troops over here at Picompico. We found ships out here as well. Right, doesn't seem that we've had our reconnaissance run over Suva. It seems they're probably out of range. Interesting. Do you still have the KBU split? Oh no, it's all reformed back into one full unit now. So we have the 6, we have Kaga, Hiru, Soru, Shikaku, Zuikaku, and Akagi. Now, we do have more damage than I would like. We are going to have to send them into repair at some point in the future. We are suffering for the use of full speed, but we'll maintain our progress. We have them in a sufficient state to actually take the area. Okay, so we're up to 36,000 tons of supply over here. Of course, we do need the fuel to arrive. It is being sent. It is on its way. Okay. So, not a bad result at all, actually. The main thing being, it seems that we're still undetected over here. That's very good. Taking Tau, Pago, and basically all the other islands would be a good idea. Yeah. So for 80, we've had a pretty solid turn then 80. We managed to get our bombers through to Singapore with no issues, and we actually did manage to repulse a shock attack at Mersing once again, which was fantastic. So his forces here, like, I'd imagine he's going to be a little bit ruffled. Doing so very well, yeah, we might as well have Cadia here. Experience and morale is just really bloody good. Yeah, I could look at actually placing some superior commanders in place here. 55 is okay. I suppose I've not been too certain of committing excellent commanders just because I don't obviously want to lose them. But we do have an additional 537 troops to arrive next turn with that equipment. So that's good news. So he struggled to obviously take them here, so they'll actually receive some reinforcements, would be nice. Those lost mine layers could have put up a defensive minefield at your outpost. Yeah, that's true. It's one of those things of... I didn't really get a say. I couldn't have actually placed them in the port, sadly. But we'll have something sent out there in the future. Okay. How are we going in the Philippines? Yeah, plenty of motor torpedo boats, etc. Obviously, he's still got his minefield around Bataan. Our forces unloading over here. We've not seen any air activity as far as we can tell. It looks as though he's actually sent some mines here into Vegan. Yeah, he's actually put some mines here. We'll have to be careful of that. So we'll actually just run some minesweepers here. You can tell the mines are present by this little star over here. You'll notice now that Hong Kong actually does not have a star next to it. So the port of Hong Kong now is supposedly clear of enemy mines, which is very good. The Destroyer Task Force, Destroyer Minesweeper Task Force has done its job, which is what we needed. Well, the Fiji operation looks like it's rather extended to me, although having a forward base like that should help with reconnaissance. Yeah, exactly. I mean, the thing is, it's actually really nice. We have Savai and we have Funafuti. Now, Funafuti has lasted the turn. Genuinely expected them to come under bombardment, and I expected Savai to come under bombardment. So this is actually really good news. Of course, our H6K is under maintenance at the moment. So, once she's ready to start flying, that is going to give us some additional information in the area. It looks as though he's either pulling out, moving west. Yeah, it looks like he's pulling out some of his forces over here, which is interesting. We didn't pick anything up over here, but it's very, very good to be aware of this situation. See, let's take a look. What's the different distance from Savai to Nemea? It's about 32 hexes. From Funafuti to Nemea is about 30 hexes. I need an island over here so I can actually start running reconnaissance in this area. Now, of course, a lot of our patrol planes over here at Tarawa aren't exactly in great shape right now. A lot of them need maintenance. Yeah, you can see a lot of them are undergoing maintenance. Yeah, they've been pushed very, very hard. Very hard indeed. Okay. What we might go for then is reduce the amount... well, then again, I suppose they are in maintenance, aren't they? So it doesn't particularly matter. Yeah, a lot of them are out for a couple days here. That's for damn sure. We'll take a look at the situation and assess it. See what the best thing would be. Well, that will help if Hong Kong is clear of mines, can get more transport operations going for resources and a good ship repair point. Yep, absolutely. There's also a lot of fuel there that I can actually make use of, which is nice, as well as supply. But of course, it's another good port to make use of other operations should we decide on them. I'm gonna bring all of the H6K4s into the Pacific, I'd imagine. I wish I'd done that a while ago, but we'll get working on that one. Okay. So it's a day now until we depart from Tarawa for Baker Island. So how long until we capture Fiji? Well, we're not going for Fiji immediately. What we're going to be doing is actually heading out here to Numea. Numea is going to be the key to opening up this operation. But it looks as though he's quite light on the ground here in terms of troops at Pago Pago, which is very, very interesting. And what do you plan to take first, Fiji or the other islands? Well, the plan here is we actually are going to have Kitabutai move down here along with the elements of the 144th Regiment that was picked up from truck. We have them split up over here. So we have a slower element, which is actually a fair-sized force there, 1,500 troops. How much are you carrying here? You have Right. So there's 2 ships with the main amount of troops, and then 1 that's carrying, like, some actual support troops. But what we're going to do is probably have one of them head over here to Tulagi, one of them head over here to Luganville, and then try and grab one of these islands as well if we can, or just obviously carry on towards New Caledonia. But the idea is that we actually establish additional bases here in Guadalcanal and the New Hebrides and the Santa Cruz Islands in general. How many H6Ks are you building a turn? I don't recall if it uses the same. We're not building too many of them. A lot of them they're in maintenance. It's one of those things, the 4-engined patrols are pretty damn expensive. Okay. So we produce about 23 of them a month actually, so not bad numbers at all really. We do make a good amount. Yep, this is going up as well. That's what I like to see. I think moving out this way has been the best choice. See, the American submarines don't have search planes, which is really good. Okay, so Toho Maru has loaded up really as much fuel as she's going to get here. Seems that way. Right, Kamoy is on her way. It's going to take about 2 days before she arrives. Yeah. What is actually the base... Well, what is actually the load capacity of a H6K? That would be quite good to know. Let's see. Aircraft data. Load... Yeah, really good actually. Really good. Definitely make use of that. Okay, so Canton. Supposedly only 60 troops there, so he's actually sent a very, very small element of his forces out there. Very interesting move. So that's good to know. We can actually retake Canton Island fairly easily. It looks as though there is actually no aircraft over here. The port is still 66% damaged, but the airfield is still operational. Okay. Interesting results there. His heavy cruisers now are moving southwest. I'd imagine they're headed back towards Fiji. So this is what I kind of hoped to happen, to be honest. So of course, Kitabutai is a few days out. Still making 4 hexes per turn. Yeah, it's going to take us a couple days to arrive in the area. But that is absolutely fine by me. There's no need to rush this. So we make 3 hexes per day here. We make 2 hexes per day here. That's fine by me. So what we can do here then is, I'll take a look at splitting these and have one potentially head towards like Tulagi and the other one over here. But the good news is we can have the actual infantry transported undercover from Kitabutai as they move down here. Now, we've actually removed his reconnaissance abilities over here at Nauru Island and Ocean Island. Of course, should he have anything over here, we're not aware of it as of yet. It remains possible that we've been spotted and we just don't know it. It remains an absolute possibility. Right, Osaka Maru needs to get her arse in gear. She does have the ability to move a little bit easier though, which is quite nice. Okay, so what we'll probably do over here, we do have a lot of these E7s. We do still have the A6720 from Shikaku. We'll have her transferred to Shikaku then. Yeah, transferred. There we go, that squadron's rebuilt now. That's what I like to see. Why is it taking me here? Okay. Rebuild Shikaku's squadron there. We still have our G3M2s. I think what we're going to do here, actually, is we did rebase 3 squadrons over here of G4s to Babal Douab. What I could do is actually take one of these squadrons, such as the Takao KUK-1, perhaps, and have one of them transferred to KYJ. From there, what we can actually do then is have them probably run something like anti-submarine warfare, as well as additional naval warfare, naval attack, which is always a very good thing. The more bombers we have in the area, the better results are. See, the interesting thing about the Pacific is really fighters aren't as much of a problem in terms of these island hopping campaigns. They are and they aren't. It's one of those things, as far as we can tell, he doesn't have a huge amount of air complement here. Not that we detected. Okay. Fort Ord, Changtai, 7048, heavy volume of radio transmission detected at Pearl Harbor, Kandari. Okay. Looks like he's making a move or doing something over here in like India. In the Indian region anyway. How much is for sure? How long now until we arrive at Georgetown? Right, we'll be there next turn. Superb. I do wish I could sort these into groups, that'd be amazing. Right. You're resting. The units that task ahead towards Georgetown would actually put them on combat now, and they'll be able to make 6 miles easily in a turn. So we'll have them to combat mode, so they'll actually enter without any issues. What does the Royal Navy have in India? They do have a light carrier. You're on strategic movement. Okay, we'll take you off that, put you obviously on combat, so you bring you into action. Right, you're on rest and training. Combat. 55th Engineer. Combat. And 22nd Reconnaissance Regiment has arrived. Everybody's in a low star. Pack time. It may be they have to unpack before we can actually rebuild the 18th Division. But as of next turn or the turn after, we'll be able to rebuild the 18th Division. So I can have the 18th Division make its way down here, down the roads on the west coast of Malaya. If you want to cut off any islands, you need torpedo bombers. Yeah, absolutely. But we're not gonna... Sorry, I should explain myself. When I said about the ASW, I was only meaning in terms of using it KYJ. We still have our G3s. I'd use the G3s probably for ASW, or probably G4s will do better because they have a little bit more range. But what I mean is until we actually have an airfield, use them in that capacity, then once we have an actual airfield, we'll move them on up, which is what we need to do. I think what we might actually take a look at doing is, considering we do have our H6K2L Mavises over here, as well as the H6K4s, they do have some pretty good transportation capacities. So I think what we might do now in the future is perhaps actually have our aviation units, our aviation engineers, air transported to these islands. That could be a good way of doing things. I mean, even, perhaps as well, if an island isn't actually held, we could potentially have air landing forces sent there, but I don't really have troops trained in that, so I don't think we'd actually come off so far. Hello there, Anna, how you doing, my friend? It's actually been a very good turn for the Japanese. It's been a interesting one. It's not been an incredibly dramatic one, but our forces did get through here to Singapore. He actually did use his forces at Mersing, such as all of his bombers over here headed out to attack our forces at Mersing, and they actually held off a shock attack, which is very good. Careful with the upgraded equipment, as also units... When we talk... Right, okay. Right, yeah. I understand what you mean now. Basically, their table equipment. To be fair, what I could do here is just have everybody assigned to combat mode, so we'll do that. Okay. So obviously we'll have some units that are going to unpack. Yeah, we can't rebuild them as of yet. It's going to take, I'd say, 2 days and we'll have the 18th Division. That'd be good news. And, yep, we've already got the upgrade button. Right, yep, okay. Okay. So our forces have finally landed over here in Marine. So we are going to go ahead and go with a deliberate attack next turn. We should be able to manage that one, considering there's only 140 troops here so far. How long till Alaska's dagger point to Japan gets blunted? Well, it's going to come a little bit later on. We need additional forces to arrive here. We were going to send one to the Aleutians, but we held off against that. We'll have one sent out in the future. The issue is that the Aleutians are not very important at the moment. We are somewhat concentrating down here, which is where most of our logistics is going here at the moment. How big were the casualties? The Allies came off worse, actually. Let's take a look. So, combat reports. Yep, here we go. The shock attack at Mersing. So the train's definitely helping us out. The preparations and... I mean, I could tell them to actually start preparing for Mersing to see if that is going to aid them. Unless they're already preparing for Mersing, and obviously it's going to take some time for that to build up. But yeah, you can see that we came out fairly well. Well, disabled rather than destroyed. But he took 26 Squad destroyed, 30 disabled, 2 disabled, 7 disabled, 4 disabled, 0 engineers disabled. We do have 500 engineers to come in next turn, which is going to be good. Not engineers, sorry. Reinforcements to come in next turn, which is good. Yeah, he's really drip-feeding his men into Mersing, and I can understand why, because it's one of these things of he doesn't want to commit too much, but the thing is, it's like, if he wanted to end the situation at Mersing, it's like a sledgehammer to a nut. It's like, it seems wholly unnecessary, but the thing is, if it defeats the nut and destroys the nut on the first go, then yeah, the task has been accomplished. If you're using something like a little toffee hammer to try and do a job, you have to do it a few times over, don't you? And it's more effort. And just whacking it with a big old sledgehammer. Okay. Right. Now, of course, I do want to actually address the situation in regards to the aircraft stack level. But we do have additional bombers now online, which is fantastic. Turn off the Navy. Yeah, so 58 KI-21 2As. We have additional ones to come online soon enough. But that's good news. I also do have a squadron over here that could be moved in. Yeah, we have another 30 from the 14th Sentai, as well as the 75th Sentai with KI-48-1B Lilies. I already do have a squadron of KI-48-1Bs over here, the Lilies, in a low star. So we can see that he's moved some of his forces down here to Johor. Now, the airfield has 16% damage. The airfield over here at Singapore is 8% damaged. Obviously, what we need to do is continue to ramp up that amount of damage there. Alaska is quite lacking in important strategic materials unless you consider the appalling lack of ice in Japan proper. Yeah, pretty much. Okay. So we're currently unloading the supplies here. Thank you very much, Harkon. Yeah, we're going to continue just to hit Singapore. We will probably take a look at actually hitting Johor Bahru as well. Though it's not as much as a requirement. But yeah, you take a look over here. So there's 20,000 troops over here. He has 10,000 troops over here. He has 50,000 troops over here. 356 guns. 84 guns here. 79 guns here. 49 armoured fighting vehicles. 126 armoured fighting vehicles here. 143 here. Now then, if we take a look over this way, we can see that we have 16,000 men, 1,375 guns, 316 armoured fighting vehicles. The KI-21 missed pilots, did you already order them? Yeah, they just take a couple days to actually arrive. It does vary as well. So some will arrive in a day, some could arrive in 2, 3, 4, 5 or more. But they'll arrive, given time. Okay. Mineral detachment and Chimera detachment. Now then. So in movement mode. Place you in movement mode? Yep, there we go. So we have now the option to rebuild the 33rd Infantry Regiment. So I'd like you guys to take your last look at the Chimera detachment and the Miura detachment. And in their place, see a Red Eyes Black Dragon. There we go, the 33rd has been rebuilt. If you are speedy, you might block those forces from Mersing retreating to Singapore, absolutely. Which is fantastic, because the thing is, the more he drip feeds his men over here to Mersing, the better. We do have 537 men to land here next turn. I could look at sending additional men. The good news is, once we do start to destroy his air capacity over this way, it does mean that we have mandate to be rather risky when it comes to operations down here in terms of naval capacity. We've destroyed for the most part his fighter efforts. He still has 24 over here, but it's nowhere like the 90 that he had previously. So what we'll do is we'll continue to bomb the airfield. We do have a couple of mines over here at Singapore, which is interesting, so he's obviously not hit them. Not be that many. But sub-late mines is an operation that we'll have to take a look at in the future. But overall, a pretty good turn. It's one of those that we can say that, yep, clearly things went well for us. We've detected additional forces over here, like for example he has transports over here. We detected, just by pure luck really, 2 light cruisers and 2 destroyers I believe over here. Yeah, we do have 500 troops on their way to Mersing as we speak. Hello there, Lupas, Tena Haika Bandai. Bandai? Banzai. Bandai. Okay, what did you miss? Well, I'll go ahead and show the combat report. Indeed, Cadia has held yet. Okay, so we did see There we go. So we had a shock attack at Mersing. Our forces actually did manage to repulse it quite handily, actually. So you can see that the Allies came off much worse here in this situation. We've landed over here at Marie. Yeah, there we go. SW attack off of Johnston, Nardi. So off the coast, well, not really the coast, but actually out towards, I don't know, north of New Zealand, somewhat like west of the Fiji Islands, we've actually detected Marblehead and Adelaide. Now, unfortunately, we did have a go at hitting Marblehead. It would have been beautiful had we hit Marblehead, because that would have been something he didn't expect. But I don't imagine he's going to expect this. I mean, this was pure bloody luck that we sent them out there. I mean, that was actually reduced the detection levels, but turns out we bloody found some additional forces that we weren't actually quite aware of. Now, we were aware, in a manner of speaking, that there were light cruisers in Suva. But this is good to see that we actually are able to see them leave, which means that we know more about what actually is there and what actually isn't there. So I'm quite happy about that. Moving on. Now, we did see his bomber forces actually selling out to hit the Mersing defenders, so we actually did pretty well to say that we did suffer quite a few casualties here from the bombers. But we haven't seen his fighters fly. He spread them out somewhat, it seems, probably further afield as well. And what we need to start doing as well is running reconnaissance over these bases over here. Like, for example, like Medan actually would be quite nice. The city will break before the soldiers do. Pretty much. You mean the planet will break before the Cadians do. I like that one. I've been playing a little bit of Battlefleet Gothic as well. I've been reading the Rogue Trader Omnibus as well by Andy Ho. That's actually pretty good. Also, preparing to GM a Rogue Trader RPG game. That should be a lot of fun too. Okay. So we've been able to reform our division over here. Well, our regiment over here. How far are we from the 16th Division? Actually, I should be able to reform the 16th Division this turn. Extraordinary. Okay, all to combat mode for the time being. Right. Goodbye, the Mirror detachment. Goodbye, the Chimera detachment. Say hello to the 16th Division. Oh, he's not going to be happy now. Yeah, that is force multiplied. That is 436 assault value now. And it's actually a pretty damn good condition there as well. We can see that we've actually taken rather minimal losses. We are prepared for Manila now, 44, so we will march upon Manila. Superb. To Manila we go. 3,000 men here, so yeah, you can see that we have the 16th Division now. He's not going to be happy about that. Insert obligatory fill-in comment here. This is fantastic. Right, so we are 46 kilometers out now. Sorry, 46 miles out from the city of Manila. Now, of course, that is going to fall quite easily, but we'll be able to catch his troops out over here. Seems he has some AVs, AFVs. Okay, so 4th Division is still currently unloading. Pretty much unloaded for the most part. I think what we're going to do is actually bring the 4th Division, perhaps even the 16th Division, down into the South Pacific, or I could have one of them head into the South Pacific, I could have one of them head out into the Dutch East Indies. It does very much depend on the situation at large. But I definitely need a division down here. The reason is we need additional forces in the area if we are to hold the South Pacific. We need additional engineers. A lot of forces need to be moved. We do have our 15th base force about 2 days out from Saipan, well, sorry, from Truk. The ones at Saipan shouldn't be that much longer, a couple of days out. Within the week we'll have them both underway, which is good news, very good news. Okay. So the tanker there is being escorted. It's very good. At least where we're loading fuel, we can have the destroyer undergo some repair there. Okay. We have our additional supply inbound for KYJ, which is good news. I could even have it moved up to Tarawa, perhaps. Okay. So Tarawa, we are using a lot of supply, that's without doubt. Need to obviously increase the amount of supply there. It doesn't have that we're expanding the airfield, but we need to do this. So we have an additional AV on its way. Our force here is still ready to go. Right, just do not refuel. Looks like you've refueled. We really do need to control who refuels and who doesn't. But we are unloading fuel over here now, which is fantastic at Talawa. Yep. You're still unloading. You need to win the war as soon as possible. We need to divert all resources as soon as the war ends into genetically engineering cat and girls for home ownership. Oh, for God's sakes. Yeah, pretty much. I like raccoon girls. I've been watching the Rise of the Shield Hero, and that's pretty good so far. It's like the most isekai possible. Now, it did say that we retreated from battle here, so we are going to go ahead and actually put them on absolute threat tolerance. We can't have them retreat. The idea here is if he ventures into Savai, he's hurt. But the good news is we can see some information here. Not much, but still good enough. Also, make sure to take the Philippines before the 9th of April. Yeah, that shouldn't be too bad. Should manage that. The thing is, though, Bataan is just bad news. So, of course, he has 31,000 troops here at Clark. He has, obviously, this 60,000 here. So, about 90,000 men in this one area here. So, of course, it's going to take some time to actually demolish Clark. We do have a division on its way. But, I don't know, part of me thinks, is the 14th Division required? I'm going to say yes, because at the end of the day, it's worth it to actually have a 14th Division participate for combat and experience, as well as to make sure that, like in the example I did say earlier, rather than chipping away with a toffee hammer, we're going to use a bloody big old whacking sledgehammer. That speaks Japanese. Okay, Tanaka detachment still here. We are still waiting for the other detachments. You could use barges to bypass Singapore if you want to take the bases and open a northern flank of Sumatra. Yeah, that's correct. I think we might do it on the airbase that we looked at not too long ago. Right, the Canal detachment is taking its sweet ass time. 33rd is moving, yep. It's going to take them about a couple of days before they arrive. I still have elements of the 33rd Division over here. Obviously they wanted to move via strategic, but that's not going to happen. Yeah, infantry guns here. So it's actually some of their guns left behind. But that's not too bad. I can't believe how long it's taken here, but then again this is a size 1 port and we are trying to unload tanks at the same time. Yeah. Taking a sweet mother effing time. Thankfully the terrain is clear, so the armor will move up very, very quickly. So I suppose to that end, what we'll do then is obviously tell the tanks to once again stop unloading, just need to obviously bloody get them there. Right, cannot dock. Right, what we're going to do here then is transfer out the warships over here. Should have done this a while ago. Still cannot dock here. It's a shame. That takes us down to, yeah. Okay. Philippines also need some air bombing. Yeah, pretty much. We do have bombers that we will end up assigning to that role. Not need a huge amount, really. Okay. Destroyers heading out over here, back to Japan. Right, so that's the additional supply. Right, the oil has been loaded as well, fantastic. Put you in there. Okay, we need to have you head out pretty much immediately. Again, destined for the Marshall Islands. So we'll have you set course for KYJ. See, the good news is we have an additional land bombers. We may want to consider actually basing some over here at Truck. Sorry, not truck, wake. God damn it. See, the issue is I keep saying things, and it's what I'm thinking about rather than what I'm looking at. I was going to say the issue is we lack support. It may be potentially worthwhile to take one of these base forces, potentially even from Saipan, and actually have that sent over here to Wake Island, because Wake Island is a size 3 airfield, and it would actually help to secure our flank here. So I think that's something that would be really worth considering. Right, they're both in maintenance. Down to that ready. Yeah, they currently do have 2 escorts. I'm going to look at deciding more as we go on. He hasn't really moved last much, which is interesting. He's going to move in southwest though. Okay. It might be worthwhile to actually combine these 2 forces out from Chichijima. I mean, I could even have all 3 of them combined at Chichijima. That is obviously safety in numbers. It would cost us about a day, but it would ensure they all arrive pretty much in safety. We'd have 2 destroyers, an AMC, light cruiser, patrol boat. Yeah, probably worthwhile doing that, to be honest. Air transport the base into Wake, speedy and safer than boats. Yeah, true. Take a while. Okay. Right, loading has been completed, fantastic. So they're currently loading supply, it seems. Now they've just finished this turn, okay. Do I have any patrols? I do not have anything to actually give to them. Okay, we'll have to find them a transport. Escort. I could have something detached from KYJ. Let's see. I do think I'm going to have them moved to Wake. I could always have them moved from Wake in the future, but I think having something out here would be very good news. Because then we'd have a squadron at Truck, a squadron at KYJ, a squadron at Wake. We'd have a squadron out here at Bab al Dawab. I think that's probably the right move here. So we'd have 1, 2, 3, 4. Obviously, if we could eventually move something over there to Midway, that'd be nice, but I don't think that's going to be likely anytime soon. But that would actually really impact his ability to actually move in this area. Especially to move without any detection. So we're going to have the one from Saipan set sail for Wake Island. It's risky right now as they do not have an escort. Very risky, but we'll have to move on with it. We are carrying a hell of a lot of supply, which we'll have moved out elsewhere, really. I did want them to pick up some supply from Saipan. Not all of it, of course, but obviously a decent amount so we can actually spread it out through the Marsh Islands. These transports will be very welcome in the Marsh Islands, especially the faster ones. Well, the fast ones I could probably have sent back to Japan, the ones that would be best used in the convoy system. But the other ones that aren't as good, but are somewhat speedy, would be worthwhile down here. Now, I do have troop transports actually arriving in a couple days. These are fantastic. Buenos Aires, as well as the Huzai Maru, Montevideo. Good ships, very good ships. Another light cruiser here. Low ammunition, a little bit smoky. Okay, you're out of fuel. Obviously, you'll be moving back there. But yeah, you take a look at the fact that he has troops out here at Johnson. He might actually be planning something. We do thankfully have a actual unit over here with quite a lot of men, actually. I'd like to have that moved out, perhaps. I mean, the base force could probably look after itself for the most part. Yeah, not a lot of supply here. These troops need to be moved elsewhere. Okay, I need that AV. Let's see, so if I was to put you on full speed, wouldn't really make a difference. It's going to be 2 days, and 2 days is that. But once you arrive in the area, you'll also bring an additional 2 search planes, but you also bring that additional aircraft support. Yeah, I think what we're going to do then is have the Tohama Ru stop loading fuel here and actually set out. It'll only put about 2,180, sorry, well, 2,108 units. I'd go with a tactical refuel. Alright, they're not far out. So we'll be here roughly. So that is 124121. What I could do then is continue to head on this course out this way. Yeah, pretty much. So, 128, then we'd be around here. That's good. I think it's actually blessed in disguise that Kiributai isn't moving too quickly. So obviously it does give us a good chance to build up the amount of units we have here. The units that we did have on the Fiji invasion force, they've been unloaded once again onto Tarawa, where we can actually begin to rest them, which is good news. No, which is a good thing, actually. Yeah, rest and training. How was it attacking the air in Malaysia? Yeah, it went through and we took barely any losses. One bomber shot down by flak, a couple were damaged, 2 were lost on the way back due to operational issues, pilot going missing, etc. So in reality we only lost 3 bombers. Which is good, so we obviously need to keep up that damage. Right. I suppose it doesn't look like we've done a lot of damage, but consider the fact that Singapore is a size 6 airfield. It's obviously going to take more to damage it due to its large extensiveness. There's also going to be a lot of engineers here, so we'll just keep it up day after day. We'll have additional bombers to send into the fray. I think I'm going to take the Ki-48 and have them target Johor Bahru. And at the end of the day, if we can actually raid his airfields all at the same time, he's actually going to run out of places to hide, really. I think we might want to take a look at actually using barges and to cross over here to Medan, potentially. That would be quite nice. Okay, so we've been able to rebuild this 16th Division at last in the Philippines, which is great. We've been gearing up for that for a long while now. Okay. Since you're not part of any force here. 74 days until that unit arrives, and then I could reform into the Special Base Force, which is fantastic, because they're actually really good for holding onto islands. Right. You'll be unloaded as of next turn, which is fantastic. So once you're unloaded, I can actually have you then moved straight up the rail lines to Batangas, where you'll be able to join the fray within 2-3 days anyway, which is going to take you 2-3 days to unpack, so by the time you arrived at Manila, you'll be ready to fight, which is decent. That's what I like to see. Right. Whew. Right, that's very good news then. So, the 21st Air Flotilla has left Formosa. It's going to take them a couple weeks, I'd say a couple of weeks until they arrive, but it's going to be worthwhile. Obviously they're heading towards Truk at the moment, I could have them head elsewhere, but currently we have a army headquarters over here. I do have 2 naval headquarters over here. I think we might have to have them head to Babel Dwab to really be able to use torpedoes in that area. We did detect 2 ships moving in this area. Interesting. Right. There's the CM for mine line, yep. Mine lanes obviously going to be very, very handy. The good thing about the mine lanes, we can obviously have that spread out and send to other islands to lay mines. Of course, we will need ships to replenish them. Right, seems you're returning to Japan. But we are going to cancel that. You're going to instead head to Midway. Which is good, actually. I could actually transfer the forces that we did have there at Midway. At least some of them, such as the SLF. Which is good news. Right, return to Midway Island. And that's what I like to see. Yep, low threat threshold. Pretty much. One search aircraft aboard. Very good, at least it does have some way to defend itself with knowledge. Okay. So there's plenty of activity over here, supposedly. I do wonder if he has any battleships that aren't available for action. I wonder if he's considering using them. Not seen anything out here by Palmyra, but we'll keep that up. We haven't seen anything over Baker Island, so it looks like Baker's actually clear. We know that Canton is actually lightly held, supposedly by only 60 men. So the good news is we can actually sweep in, take Baker, and then sweep in to retake Canton as well, which is actually going to net us 2 airfields, which is really important. So net Baker gives us air capacity there, net Canton gives us air capacity over there, pretty good air capacity as well. Interesting really how Canton Island has been back and forth, really. Yeah. Okay, transport is able to move without any issues now to Tarawa. Though it does make me wonder. I don't believe he has any troops over here, so what I might be able to do is actually just take some of these troops over here and potentially just have them take Vita board just to make sure he has enough in this area. He could base still float planes here, which worries me. But we might take that island anyway if it has no defenders, so it's probably not worth the effort, not worth the fuel. Right, head back. Moving southwest. I mean, he's so he moved in over this way. It seems like what happened is we did see troops and, well, troop ships over this way. It looks as though he's moved in. Obviously landed there at Canton. Moved like this. Moved back down. He's moved pretty quickly. He was somewhere around here, wasn't he? So it looks as though he might have actually burnt at full speed there, which is interesting. Which is also using a lot of fuel. We do detect 5 ships over here. Of course, what we'll do now is we'll send our submarines back in over here. I might take one submarine and potentially do some reconnaissance of New Maya, but I think it probably might be too much a giveaway. I think we need to just continue to focus on this area for the time being to make the ruse complete. Okay. I think things are going well. They are going well. Right. Our forces actually have arrived at Wuzhou. You can see there's 22,000 men here. We do have not as many troops as I would like. We only have 2/3 of a division. So what we'll do then is we'll tell them to all defend, obviously get into combat mode. Now, of course, I do have artillery here, which is good news. But we'll have them defend for the time being. So Canton doesn't have the necessary amount of force as of yet. Right, you should have some artillery following you out. Well, that's irritating. Yeah, it looks as though we've actually messed the orders up there. Bugger. Oh, so the 69th needs to be moved over there to Canton to reform. Yeah. It may be worthwhile waiting in this position here, and then, well, we'll wait here actually. I know it seems like a waste of time, but the thing is I need to wait for my actual artillery to arrive. They should have been moving, but it seems we've messed up the orders there. So we'll have them to rejoin the division, So we're not going to be able to take it without any artillery. It's going to be rough without the actual artillery. So we are going to have them move on up. Right, I'm going to have the element of the 38th now move on up to Wu Chao. I really need some engineers out here. I do have engineers as well to move from Sima. From Hainan, really. Just need to move some actual supplies in there. I do have some over here at Takao, so I'm going to have them head over. Right, we're beginning the march again. Coming into it this time. Should be ready to move again soon. No fires, I mean, she's handled a lot of flooding damage. Systems damage isn't great, but I think she could probably make it to Saigon's like maybe a 2-day journey, maybe 1 day. Probably 2 days for her. Right, so we'll unload all of these bad boys out of there. Right, okay, we finally arrived at Shushan. 2 divisions here. So we'll go with a deliberate attack. If we take a look, we have 34 preparation, 35 preparation. Good commanders, both of them. Yeah. That's good news. It looks as though he's actually going to be preparing to attack Nanchang. We do have level 4 fortifications over here that are being built up as well. I do have 3rd Division. Granted, it did take a lot of damage, but it's still a fairly dangerous force at 225. On the defensive, it is... yeah, 190, 270, yeah. So there's about 600 assault value here. Yeah, 631 assault value, but obviously will increase as the division recovers. But those fortifications are deadly. So the thing is, should he actually move in, he's actually doing me a favor. Indeed. So, it looks as though he's building up his forces. I can't see any other reason for why he'd do this. So in reality, it would be welcoming. Should he march on Nanchang. Could easily defeat him there. $18,000 men here. Need to defeat them on the Indo-Chinese border. I don't have a lot here in the form of the mixed. So it would be nice to move additional forces down here. I mean, for example, I do have some SNLF. That's not a great number though, only a couple. Artillery, yeah. Nothing much. Ah, did our transports arrive? Yep, they have. At San Fernando. Great news. As we're loading here, the 6th Tank Regiment and the additional Naval Guard. Very good, very good. Okay, so 4th Division, is that 4th or 14th? So 14th, no, sorry, 4th Division. We have here 16th Division, we have here 33rd Division, so 3 divisions now in the Philippines. We'll of course have our forces consolidate. So we'll be able to send, I don't know, maybe 4 divisions, give or take, in total numbers. Obviously not 4 divisions as such, 3 divisions definitely, but maybe a 4th in rough estimates of men and material. Probably shy, maybe about 3.5 divisions, but still pretty good. A great amount of artillery, which is actually going to be very handy. We'll also be able to use our air power as well, which is going to be a great asset in the area. Okay. I'd have loved to see what we did pick up over here. So the 15th Division is going to be able to attack that Chinese force again. Right, I am moving. We're marching on Xinjiang and we're retreating a division back to Hankow. That makes sense. Six divisions marching north. Yeah, they've made very good progress. Covered a lot of territory there. So they'll arrive tomorrow. There's a lot of men there, 43,000. We are moving here. 34th. It's going to take them a very long time. But we need to obviously defeat these forces here. I mean, they're in combat mode at the moment, which is probably the best way. I think what we're going to have to do is actually send them supplies via the air. Okay. So we are trying to rebuild the 2nd Tank Division. Yeah, there we go, 2nd Tank Division. Yeah, bomb and reconnaissance the stack. Definitely worthwhile doing. It looks as though he's moved most of his forces. Obviously, we've moved a lot of our bombers. We do have crap bombers out here. That's enough. Now, interested to see that we did have a squadron supposedly convert to A602s. That moment when you are forced to fire to an emergency surface. Force to emergency surface. 2 kilometers off to the right of a Nagato. Wow. Have fun with that, my man. Okay, so obviously you need another pilot. It seems it's a Yamada detachment then. Interesting. How long until you're operational? A week. Yeah, as soon as you were set, you had replacements on. Interesting. Not that I mind too much. Obviously, I would rather have had more say over where those zeros went. But at least they've upgraded, so I can actually combine that squadron in force. Okay. Yeah, kind of fair to do. Okay. Right. I am gonna give up a day of movement here. I know it's not great, but at the end of the day, I think it's worthwhile to have our forces converge over here at Chichijima. As it means that these guys will arrive intact. I think Chichijima is going to be our halfway point, really. C. Hachijojima can actually build an airfield. Yeah, I can actually have an airfield out here in Mikami. Well, Miyaki Jima as well. We might in the future actually want to take a look at building airfields on these islands, these tiny little islands. At the end of the day, it does mean that we can actually have float planes based there, well, reconnaissance based there, and ASW outfits based there. Okay, you're moving south. Unload cargo to set it off. Well, to be fair, I do have a special base force over here. Doesn't seem they're restricted. Hmm. So you could carry about half of that. Okay, so Ero is almost completely loaded now. Obviously need to give her some escort, so will come in the form of these actual patrol boats. Cargo ship over here. You're currently unloading supply. Which is good, obviously keep that above 21, well, above 20k. Right, we also do have 4 destroyers that will arrive in the area. So I just had a little bit of like, see, I made a Thai green curry earlier on, so I've had a little bit of like, chili just like at the back of the throat there, just like kind of came out like, yeah, felt that one. Oh, I brought a tear to the eye. I think we may need to assess our coverage of the sea lanes over here. It may be that it's actually not moving too much in the way out there. So it might be that we use these submarines actually have a couple remain off the coast of America, but have the vast majority head out this way, perhaps. Or even a tighter blockade around Pearl. But it depends really what the actual usefulness of that is. Yes. Right, we'll have you dock also to expedite the rate at which you load. Seems you've finished as well. Okay. 2 patrol boats. It's only 2,500 units of fuel, but at least it is something of fuel. So we'll have that head down to KYJ. The good news is that we can see we are going to be unloading fuel over here at Tarawa. So Tarawa is building up her fuel again. We'll have fuel set out from the island over here to refuel Kitabutai. It's only going to put about, like, what, 2,000 units of fuel in? But that is still going to make a difference, yeah. 2,108 units of fuel. Not a huge amount. Absolutely not a huge amount by any means. But it does mean it buys an additional day. You know what I mean? It's another day's movement. We need endurance. Absolutely need endurance. Right. See, it might be worthwhile building a supply up at Savai to build fortifications. Of course, we are using the supply to survive, so it's not worth it right now. I could even use submarines to transfer supply to Savai. Okay. What's your ammunition? Yep, you still have shots here, that's good. Where are you heading? West. I'm going to have you remain here for the day. Right, naval surge, if you will. Okay. I want you to head out this way. We might be able to shadow them. Yeah, they've lost sight of us. Okay, so we'll move closer to Suva. No aircraft. Well, that's fine, due to the fact that it doesn't have an aircraft. Actually, it does seem like they're moving in, but it's not going to be the submarines that are going to take them out. It's going to be the aircraft. So I'm going to actually have you head off to Numea. I really want to try and gather information around Numea, and also want to be somewhat aware of what is coming and going there. No aircraft. Damn it. Okay. I-8, you do have an aircraft, that's what I need. Moving range of Fiji. We are going to stay a little bit further out now. But what we'll do is obviously run reconnaissance over Fiji. Right. Reconnaissance, please. Over Suva. I want to really just see what the rough numbers are. Okay. See, the great news is that we actually do have these float planes available over here at Funafuti. I genuinely thought he would stop off to bombard them, but he did not. Which I find very interesting. We'll have 2 more planes available in a day, which is super good. So what I'll do is I'll put that down to 1... we'll put it to 70-30, actually. That way we'll try and keep down the actual the actual fatigue there to our reconnaissance flights. But yeah, you take a look. So we have 10 hex range. So this is 7. That's 10. So I can actually see where he's moving. I can actually see when he's actually going to come, which is very good. So this is actually really important, the fact that we've actually taken Funafuti. It means that we do have prior warning of what is actually coming immediately out of the Fiji Islands. It's very interesting, actually. Right. Would I have a board here? 51 men. No, we need more than that. But the good news is now that his forces have moved out of the area, it means I can actually be bolder. Another submarine over here is fantastic. Can make great use of her. Okay, I'm gonna have her head to Funafuti. Would be nice to have some actual defense there. In the form of a submarine. Okay. Two allied ships, 137, 128 near Tarawa, moving southeast. So 137, 128. That could be a submarine in the area. That's a likely prospect. Very interesting. See, the good news is we actually do have a solid surface force in the area. He may believe that is the one that is going to be heading out to Fiji, perhaps. Which would make sense. He knows there's troops there in actual decent numbers. He knows that there's warships, clearly capable warships as well. Like Nagato and Mutsu, pretty damn capable. Just unloading the last of the units. So we do have a couple of troops here, not massive numbers of troops. But definitely numbers that could make him worry. Which is why we need a division. Because that is a solid combat formation that is actually going to give him a lot of headaches. Now, I do imagine the two battleships have slipped out here from Singapore. But it doesn't seem they've... they might have slipped out completely. I'm honestly not too certain. I'd have expected my bombers to pick them up. It seems that we did have our bombers try to do something as of last turn. Question is, they're going to be out here somewhere. Right, find in position here, severe storms. In position off of Batavia. Okay. Some interesting results then, really. Right, that's increased, that's good. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to save this. So, turn 19. Turn 19. We'll load it up in the tracker, try and get some more information here. I don't think it's going to take us too long to actually make our way through this turn. Due to the fact that, well, with things going so well, we can actually more or less keep the course to a degree. We'll bring up the actual save. Put that into the tracker, of course. Yeah, replace it. While I'm actually here, send the actual combat replay to THG. There we go. Awesome. He's not going to be annoyed at me now, so 003. Let's get an idea of what we're seeing then. We know that we've used about 9 zeros. So they've gone out to upgrade a squadron of A5 M4s, which I'm not going to argue with. I suppose it's not what I actually ordered, but I suppose I did leave them on upgrade, so I suppose it's my own fault. But I'll not argue. In a week's time, we'll have another 9 zeros I can actually send out, so obviously then they'll be able to recombine with the rest of our squadron, which is obviously what we want. We want our squadrons to be working together, rather than separate. So, pretty good, pretty good. Right, go ahead and load up a new turn. First of all, though, we'll take a look at the previous turn, which was 19. I mean, technically it's turned 20 now, but it's like, listed as turn 19. You know, it's a little strange. Right. Overview. Okay, read the new turn. Getting a little bit tongue-tied today. There we go, turn 20. Right, current turn. Repairs were completed over here, that's good to see. Right, Ocean Island, detection has increased. It looks as though... Yeah, that's very interesting. So it looks as though he's actually running reconnaissance on potentially at Ocean Island. So that's good information there. It does mean that we should probably steer a little bit further away from Ocean Island. The good news is his range to which he can run detection is obviously lowering as he's losing bases. So that's very, very good news. Okay. I love that you find this information out. You can actually miss things in game. Whilst here it's a lot easier. Okay, new leaders have arrived, that's what I like to see. Well, these look to be... Yeah, these are pilots, that's good to see. Ah, here we go, pilots have arrived. I think these are new pilots. Kaifeng, Harbin, Nagasaki, Kotoburu. 10 KUS. Yeah, okay, awesome. Yes, the Yamada Detachment 2 upgraded. Okay. Right then, let's go ahead and take a look at our industry. Right, let's see how we're looking on the resource front. Okay, so we're still technically down here. Of course, it's going to take some time. Looks like it's going to take a couple of times for us to get back into that cycle. We did have supply go up here, but well, resource use obviously is increased. That's remained constant. It's just obviously the transference rate. But we'll have a few of our convoys have arrived. Well, a few of our convoys will have arrived in Japan, but will do soon. So obviously that number will tick back up. But it's good to see that we're no longer really dropping 4.6 million, past 4.6 million, which is good news. Gonna take us a while before we build up, but we will do. I mean, resources aren't so much the issue. The issue really comes down to, like, fuel. Fuel is the necessary requirement for heavy industry. Of course, we need resources to obviously produce supply, but fuel is really the thing we struggle with. And we are running out. We also do need that fuel. Which is why we need to really conquer the Dutch East Indies pretty quickly. Okay. Aircraft production. 2.23, now to 2.1 Oscars per day. Yes, we have 14 of them down the pool, which I think we should be able to replace our KI-431As rather quickly. I'd like to get the most out of them, but it's one of those things. We can actually hold on to them, have them possibly one day used as like kamikaze aircraft. Never a bad idea, really. Would always be quite good. Okay. A lot of these G3s in the pool. Yeah, we almost produce one H6K4 per day. See, this is the advantage of a THG that we have, is the fact that we can really refine our aircraft pools. We can actually really focus on certain assets. That's what I like to see. That's when we changed over to Big Squadron. That's when Kitabutai took on replacements. And that's when the Yamada Detachment 2 took out those aircraft. I so wish we didn't lose that many on the first turn. It sucks, it really does. Yeah, we produce almost 2 KI-21s per day. It's a shame to have lost so many, but we'll be able to replace that in time. Sooner than he thinks, really. Right, looks like the minefield of Singapore looks to be slowly experiencing attrition. I need to spread out these mine layers across Japan, really. If I can make sure each like port has mines, I'll probably do very well. Shanghai has a lot of mines. Could do with spreading them out. Hiroshima, Minato. Yeah, definitely mine the exposed bases, really. Right. Okay. So you can see our usage here. I mean, armaments is going down. You can see that we started with near 20,000 armaments. And we have been using that steadily over the course. So we will have to start producing armaments again soon. Vehicles is an interesting one. Now, we had a massive loss here. Well, we did start with 1,000 in the pool. I used 994, so... we are producing more. It seems that we are relatively up there. It's just, obviously, once we have all the vehicles sent off to cover replacements, we'll be able to start to build it up again. Yeah, this is where we're saving points. Started to rebuild the year. Yamato perhaps, or something else entered service. Well, entered building construction. Not too bad here. Actually a surplus. Merchant Marine's been steady. Okay. So some very interesting results then in reality here. I think what I'm going to do is, it's like, ordinarily I would have a much longer stream. But I think what we're going to do here, at least what I'm going to do, is actually just sort of digest really what's occurred this time. Because I expected things to honestly to not go as well as they actually have done. So with them going so well, it does actually take longer, which is intriguing. Strange really, but it kind of does. So it makes me think then, right, okay, let's assess what we're doing and really try to refine it. I'm very happy that Mersing did hold out. I think another 500 defenders will not go amiss. I mean, it's going to add an additional... It's like we have 1,140 troops over here. It's going to add something like an additional third. It's quite good. We'll try and drip feed in reinforcements here. I mean, it may be that we could potentially retake Mersing in given time. Yes, and Ocean Islands. I mean, unless I'm running detection here, but I don't think I am. I could be wrong. I could have had something targeted this way, but I don't think so. So it looks like he's run detection over Funafuti. Probably been covered by his planes as he passed by. So Vi obviously still under reconnaissance. See you later there, my man. Right, you're heading back. Indeed. Okay, so what we're going to do then, it's going to take us, let's see, how long is it going to take them to arrive? Moving at 2 hexes per day to Wake, and Wake is 30. So that's going to take us about 15 days, just over 2 weeks, give or take, for them to arrive here at Wake. But when they do, it will be quite good. We'll base a squadron of bombers out there. And what's going to happen at Miri? At Miri and obviously Brunei, well, we're going to go with deliberate attacks. It's like we're still unpacking, but we do have the numbers to make it happen. I think what I'm going to do is actually pull the escort carriers back over this way. I might use these escort carriers to actually move around our aircraft here to a degree. Definitely. Very good detection here. So apparently only 3 ships in the port. Yeah, he's basically moving everything out, it seems. We do have the forces to take Singapore. That's for certain. First RTA division's moving south. See, it would be worthwhile moving the rest of the Yokosuka 2nd SLF Just because obviously that would give us the actual guns there. Obviously guns are something we need. Where's the Imperial Japanese division? I do have 42nd Regiment on its way. Yeah, I could actually rebuild 5th Division as well. Awesome. They're all here at a low star, so as soon as they actually reach it, we can move. Issue is obviously they couldn't get on the rail system. So it's going to take a couple of days, but we'll be able to rebuild our forces over here. So we'll have 5th Division and 18th Division. So we'll have 2 divisions here, which is great news. And then we can have a... Well, we don't even really need to march this way, so we'll use the RT forces. But we'll have 3 divisions over here to throw towards Singapore. We'll have 3 divisions plus to send towards the forces at Manila and Clark. We'll be able to crack these nuts, but I think we'll bleed off a division to have... Or to send to the South Pacific. And then, in reality, we'll have something like 5 divisions, potentially. And let's look at ground reinforcement. Okay, so 2 days until these these Naval Guard arrive at Saipan. 6 days until we receive additional artillery. Then over here at KYJ, we receive some additional SLF. More Naval Guard at Saipan. Hong Kong detachment, which is good, very good. Engineers, which we need, of course. And then we'll receive these actually really great units. These actual base forces, which are fantastic. Really good. Okay, additional paratroopers will arrive over here at Kagoshima. Very nice. So, in reality, within the next week, less than a week really, 6 days, we'll have base forces arrive in the Marsh Islands, which is really, really good news. That means I'll be able to really build up the Marsh Islands. We have all these supplies over here. We'll have fuel on its way down here too. We've got a air headquarters. Now, what I might do is have it head towards Babel Duab. I could have it head towards Truck. I think at Truck... Yeah, Truck we can use torpedoes. So I think we'll have it head to Babel Duab. They can actually use torpedoes out this way. Though, it does make me wonder, is that really worth it? I could actually have the headquarters, probably have the headquarters actually head down here towards Noumea. I think in the end of the day, if we can actually get a base force and an air headquarters, obviously supply base that way, it would make the base pretty strong as a strong point there in the region. But things are going fairly well. I think it's going to be intriguing to see what he does here in terms of force, because the thing is, if he holds his actual heavy cruisers around this area, and just other warships on Fiji, in anticipation of a... I suppose this is it, it's like... in reality, because we've had such an operational pause, it's like... we were still considering, a few days ago, actually waiting until the 30th, so things have actually escalated to a degree, in terms... Well, it's actually escalated our operations calendar, I suppose you could say. Well, timetable. Timetable is probably the best word. So things are happening sooner than they would have been otherwise. But it's very interesting to see what is going on here in terms of psychology. Because, for example, well, Funafuti's fallen, Savai's fallen, there's lots of Japanese submarines in the area. So he's on alert, but the invasion force has not yet arrived. And he doesn't know if it's actually going to arrive anytime soon. Because, for example, he doesn't seem to have detection over here at Tala, which is interesting. Very good. Which means he doesn't actually know if those troops have left as of yet. Supposedly. They may not, they may have. He may yet expect another force to be coming from somewhere. And of course now Kidabutai is slowly and inexorably moving, well, making her way down south. She's not far away. It's going to take about a week for her to arrive, but the thing is she's going to be able to maintain pace with the actual transports. So the great news is, should he see transports and think, right, easy kill, he's going to run into the might of the first air fleet. And the great news is as well, I mean, things have worked out superbly. We have the Fiji covering force over here at Tarawa. So that means that we have 2 battleships, 4 heavy cruisers, a couple of destroyers. We'll have eventually more ships over here. I think I actually... Did I actually have... yeah. We'll have additional forces arrive here. We also did then detach 2 destroyers and the old light cruisers. So the thing is, should he actually wish to attack the Marsh Islands, he knows there is a very strong surface combatant force. But he doesn't know about Kidabutai. So I'd imagine his anxiety is going to be increasing. He's going to think, right, okay, I've not seen Kidabutai for a couple of days now. Where the fuck are they? He's going to think as well, where the fuck is the invasion force? So his mind is going to be racing, and imagine he's going to be reinforcing different islands, different bases. But the thing is, he's already committed troops over here to Fiji. I need to get an idea of the numbers here, because he could be reinforcing Fiji, or he could be evacuating Fiji. It's uncertain at this point. I do find it interesting he's actually pulling back warships over there. We did see 2 destroyers, 2 light cruisers. There's supposedly a fifth ship here. I don't know about that one. It might be just incorrect information. It could be an escort for a transport, we do not know. I was going to go with the fact that we did see the warships. Then again, the actual transport wouldn't have joined the battle, so that would make sense. It's hard to say, really. I don't think there's a transport there, but supposedly there's a 5th ship. Obviously, that's not always correct. For example, it's now suggesting there's only 7 ships here. But we are still getting these solid 4 heavy cruisers, so that does seem to be fairly certain at this point that there's a couple heavy cruisers in here, as well as destroyers. Indeed. He's going to move. I think my prediction is going to be, given a couple days, he's probably going to strike at Savai. Probably what's going to happen. He's been rather cautious. It looks as though he's only dropped off just enough troops to secure the island. But what we'll do is we'll grab Bacon, we'll grab Canton again. We'll grab Viva Islands. We need to be like a sweeping tide. I think within the next week, we'll take Manila. Take Manila, and then we can begin to advance on Clark. I'm actually really somewhat tempted to have the 14th Division reloaded. Not gonna lie. Might look for the better port to do it from, to be honest. It's a little bit of waste of time. But we'll see. We do have additional reinforcements on their way south. I think I'll keep the 3rd Division in the Philippines. We obviously need to make sure that we do take it. But we do have forces loading up over here. So currently we have 4,975 men loaded. Carrying troops and equipment there, as well as some engineers. So really nice, self-sufficient force. That's what I like to see. So it's going to take them some time to load up, so probably within the next day or 2 they'll be done. And then also we can start to move south. In the end, it doesn't matter. If he doesn't bring a combatant fleet, it doesn't matter what reinforcements he brings, pretty much. But this is it. Even in... There's just nothing he can do in 1941. He knows. He's got to know that Fiji's going to fall at some point, should I really want it. Because he can't outdo 6 fleet carriers. He just can't. There's nothing he can do about it. The question comes down to, is he going to try and fight for it? Is he going to evacuate? What is he going to do? And I think that question is racing through his mind as well, because each and every day that drags on by in the South Pacific, and there's no invasion force sighted, it is going to increase his anxiety to a certain degree. It's going to make him think, right, okay, where are they? I've got forces here. Where is the enemy? And that's going to be very interesting. I want him to believe that Fiji is the target. I really want him to believe that, which is why I'm going to send the somebody without a search plane over here to Noumea, so I can actually have something just off the coast, just to try and gather some information by proxy. But I want him to believe that Fiji is the real target. Because it is the real target. And we've always been at war with Eurasia. Air reinforcement. Sure, we'll take a look at that. Aircraft losses, group reinforcement. Okay. So it's going to be a few days. We also gain in 37 days a D3A1 Val group in Manila. We'll cost that. Well, we'll take that. 20 days we'll have a KF-7s. 31 days we'll have another squadron of A5M4s. 31 days B5M1s. That's obviously to arrive with the show house, so that's when we actually gain our light carrier, or is it escort carrier? I forget. How costly would it be to take Fiji? Well, really, it'll obviously cost us. It really depends on what he has. The beauty of Fiji itself is the fact that it's split into 2 islands. Sorry, it's split into 2 bases. So, he can't concentrate his men. He just cannot. There's no way he can actually concentrate his men. So that means that his defences are always going to spread apart. So it's actually harder for him to hold Fiji due to the multiple bases, which is fantastic. The question comes down to where we actually strike, because of the example being, there's a level 1 port over here, level 1 airfield. Level 3 port here, level 2 airfield. The question comes down to, There's also resources being produced here, which is nice. That's very nice. I can actually have that moved over here and used. Awesome. Yeah. So the actual question comes down to what is best to be served here. I'd imagine his main defense is going to be at Suva. Thank you, I need those nuclear codes. Yeah, so his main defense is probably going to be over here at Suva, but he's going to move an adequate amount of men to Nadi. So I'd imagine he expects me to land at Nadi, which ordinarily I would do. But considering the size of the port, it might in fact be worthwhile to land at Suva itself. Obviously, we can actually defeat his men on the ground and establish ourselves there. We'd actually have the advantage due to the size of the airfield. Sorry, due to the size of the port. But what we have to take into consideration as well is basically we need mine clearers. That's a thing. Minesweepers, that's the word I'm looking for. I do have a, yeah, I do have 2 coastal minesweepers over here. I think they're going to be really, really useful. We'll have to look at actually moving them. Load your tender, there you go. Can actually help repair some ships now. Obviously the destroyers. Yeah, so we still have 2 destroyers over here. 2 light cruisers, yep, and capable patrol boats. That's nice. Load your tender. There we go. That's what I like to see. That helps to repair our actual destroyers. So what we need to do is obviously look at moving repair boats out this way. Okay. How long until we have the Minakazi APDs? Akikazi, 13 days until we have them. That's good. I mean, this is a thing, we've actually taken quite a lot of the actual destroyers out of our fleets here. Obviously, we took out the Minikazis for the most part, at least the vast majority of them. I think we took 12 out of circulation, which is a lot of warships, a lot of escort ships to have lost. But in reality, they are now APDs, 13 days will be ready. In 1942, we'll be able to upgrade them to actually receive radar. As one of the first ships alongside the Shikaku class of carrier, which is going to be great. Obviously, having that additional radar would be amazing. We can expect the first new models of aircraft to arrive in early-ish 42, which would be the Ki-44 Tojo 2A. Well, yeah, 2A, which would be nice. Also be able to use that to really try and take down bombers to the greatest extent. We'll have the A6M5 later on in the year of 42 as well, which is going to be great. So we're obviously going to be skipping the A6M3 and heading straight to the A6M5, which is going to be beautiful. So in reality, we'll be able to dominate the skies for quite a while, which would be really good. Right, so with that, we're going to call the stream an end here. We're all going to go ahead, spend a little bit of time thinking over what's actually happened here. That's the best way to do things. Give people time to obviously watch it and catch up. But things have gone well. We'll ideally secure Marie and Brunei as of next turn. Obviously, we're going to have to spend time rebuilding them there. I think we'll have to move a lot of engineers down this way. I think that's going to be a really important thing to do. But I had quite a lot of good. Quite a lot of good. I don't think it's going to take us too long to actually go ahead and finish a turn. I think we'll probably finish it tomorrow. We'll just go through the different theatres and finish them like that. Best way, really. Okay, so until next time then, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed this, and I do hope to see you again in the future, so until that time comes, goodbye for now.